I'm enamoured by what we do here at P.A.Y because of the impact that it has on our students.
We can read about our ancestors.
There are so many young people and children in this country who badly need this kind of programming. So I think our efforts need to...
Currently, I'm working together with my colleagues from the board of directors in consolidating and streamlining the program.
They administer English level exams for a majority of the population who haven't received the instruction that they need to take these problem-solving exams.
I'll be giving you 4 seconds to finish one question. -7 plus -2.
A lot of the times we get learners at a fairly late stage. Learners do not know the multiplication table, but you need to teach them logarithms or trigonometry. So we have to go back to the foundations through a tremendous amount of patience and hard work, and then we build them up. And whatever time it takes, we take that time and we go the journey hand in hand, anchored in understanding.
When I used to run the program,
-7 plus -2.
we didn't have electricity, no water. We had one blackboard, no funding, nothing, but we still had to run the program. And we are still getting challenges. And you know, right now, this program is managed by the group of people here, pro bono.
5 plus -5. Number 4.
Kids here are systemically being groomed for failure.
3 plus -6.
The depth of that societal predicament is so deep that it's really intimidating just to grasp it, let alone to engage and try to solve it. There was a system in place for 80 years that aimed to undo the social fabric of the society, broken by apartheid. The work that we're doing is only really fully going to show in the generation of the people that we are serving now, with their children. But to now go back and try to undo history.
The white population controls most of Namibia's wealth. To protect their privileges, South Africa extended its own policy of apartheid throughout the country. The total separation of the races in every aspect of daily life.
P.A.Y Namibia began in the high-density suburb of Katutura, which is where historically the indigenous people of Namibia were placed to live in the capital city. This was during the apartheid period, where each of the tribes was placed into a certain area within Katutura. It almost worked as a divide and rule mechanism with which to keep the people of Namibia oppressed. Of course, as a result, the education system suffered, the students suffered. Even 30 years after independence, there are gaps in the education system that mean that students do not achieve as much as they could by the time they get through from grade 1 to grade 12. The attrition rate starts very early on in primary school. Perhaps about 20% of the students that began in grade 1 then go on to tertiary education. Physically active youth is here to fill in that gap and produce students who will survive the rigors of academic study at university, as well as contribute to Namibian society and to the globe as a whole.
Okay, my boy.
Okay.
A large number of our students come from households that are led by a single parent, most often the mother. Fathers are absent, which in itself has its own impact.
And this is how it looked like maybe hundreds of years ago.
There's barely enough money to get food on the table.
How are you going to learn to write correctly by reading?
We have a number of students that walk tens of miles to come here.
What do we call the book where we find words in? The meaning of words.
A dictionary.
I'm not sure I have enough words to articulate the brilliance that there is amongst our children. They come from very difficult and very dire circumstances. And in each and every case, they achieve, they succeed, they do things that they wouldn't normally have done.
What is entertainment? Maybe you read about sport. Does sport entertain us?
Yes.
Okay. Jaden, what is your soccer team you support?
Madrid.
Oh, Madrid. Okay, and now what event is taking place in 14 days' time?
FIFA World Cup.
FIFA World Cup. You can go into the FIFA World Cup just by reading.
Physically Active Youth began as a program and study into whether or not being physically active will have a positive impact on the learning outcomes of pupils.
What happens if we exercise?
Get strong.
You get strong. And when you read, what gets strong?
Your brain. Because there's a lot of words.
Our pass rate is orders of magnitude better than what it is in the national average. So if you compare nationally in grade 10, you will see 53 to 54% of learners are getting promoted to grade 11. At P.A.Y, that percentage stands between 80 and 90%. In grade 12 last year, we had a 100% pass rate getting to tertiary with a government bursary, with a
Who
stipend.
wants to have a strong brain?
Me.
Okay.
Currently we have 120 kids enrolled, grade 1 to grade 12. Most kids after school hang out in the streets and end up indulging in all the wrong things. So when they come here, we keep them constructively occupied. What we also do, we feed these kids, because for some, the meal that they have at P.A.Y is the only meal they have for the day. Between 4 and 5, we have sporting activities. Our main sports are cycling and soccer.
We see their concentration becomes much better if they are physically active. All of them are taught after school, each and every subject, and some of them they are geniuses.
It's 12 times. No, 11, 12. Yes, it's 144.
There is no way that you can have a healthy nation if that nation is uneducated, and at the same time you cannot achieve good educational outcomes if learners that you are serving are unhealthy. For us, these are two sides of the same coin.
These are diamonds in the rough, and this idea that somehow they're empty or not able to produce is a lie.
And so I think a lot of kids didn't recognize opportunities in a career field before P.A.Y Namibia. There were some kids who talked about, I see myself going to the Olympics.
I'm one of the elite cyclists of the Physically Active Youth Namibia. Cycling is my life. One of the previous P.A.Y cyclists, he was crowned the national champ last year, mountain bike national champ. I'm not yet professional, but I'm on my way to being professional. So it's through P.A.Y that I started cycling.
P.A.Y Namibia is the best place I've ever been. I actually came to P.A.Y in 2016, grade 9. I was influenced by my peers to start doing drugs, but then I thought like, no, I can't do that. Criminal activities are mostly taking place whereby kids are smoking drugs, robbing people, 16 to 20-year-olds doing that every day. My mom didn't want me to get into that, so she wanted me to come to P.A.Y. There's even food that you get for free, nothing you pay for. It's the best place I have in my life right now. Just on my way there, go study again, trying to improve and get to the next level.
So picture this. A young 14-year-old walks from school, perhaps 5 miles to get to the centre, and comes in not having had any breakfast but having had a full day at school, and has a warm meal waiting for them. It's a warm, balanced meal. Having eaten, they participate in tidying up the centre and preparing it for studying. He'll then go and sit down with a tutor, who are all volunteers by the way. If it's exam time, there will be some exam prep. At 4 o'clock, that student may then go and participate either in football or soccer, depending on where you come from, or cycling, which we take to a semi-professional level. Friday we dedicate to life skills, where a doctor who's Namibian and has come from exactly the same type of background talks about his struggles, talks about having walked from school and having made it into university. On a Saturday, you're probably going to find them in either a robotics class or the coding academy, writing real apps that people use. So not only are they studying as a student, but they understand what's coming up ahead for them once they're participating in working life.
For the P.A.Y students, they are now in Katutura, but this was where their parents and forefathers were living. What we now call Auckland Park, this was their location. Due to the apartheid, they were forcefully removed. They bulldozed people while they were in the house. They shot people resisting. The old location shooting, it was brutal. It's an education in itself for the P.A.Y generation in Katutura to be able to understand the sacrifices that have been made on their behalf so that they should take education seriously. That will become the equalizer for them in a society as ours in Namibia.
What I would prioritize is internal growth of the organization, so organizational development.
We are in the 21st century. A lot of this knowledge exchange and knowledge management can occur in the virtual space.
Absolutely.
And for that we need support from independent entities or from individuals, from academia, donors, or whoever is interested to volunteer their time to help us optimize our programming, our monitoring, our evaluation, because none of these things happen on their own.
I think that we've created an enabling environment that allows them to flourish as individuals, and I think that it's something that we can replicate across the country in all of the regions. I think it's necessary to remind all of our children that they're somebody important and that they have a role to play in the development of Namibia. That's what we do here at P.A.Y, and I know it's what we can do throughout the country.